Uh-oh. Beto done did it again. Take a look at this. David Siders tweeted, asked if he's a progressive, Beto O'Rourke says, I don't know. He's not big on labels, he says. Now, I wouldn't care about this if he followed it up with something that reassured me in other ways. So if he says, hey, I'm not a progressive, but I'm a lefty, okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't even use that particular label, progressive. If somebody uses it for me, that's fine. I won't necessarily object. But I think there are more accurate descriptors. Like I'm a believer in social democracy, or when you take the political compass test, I come out libertarian left. That's another label that's more accurate. Populist left is another label that's more accurate. So I wouldn't care if he threw in one of those things, but he didn't. It's oh yeah, I'm not a progressive, and I don't know. I'm not big on labels. Just because you're not big on them doesn't mean that we can't accurately describe where you fall on the spectrum and what your beliefs are on the issues. I have to say, I get kind of annoyed by the people who are like, labels, bro? I don't even like them, bro. They don't even apply to me and stuff, you know? It's like, no, just because you don't like them doesn't mean they don't apply to you. In fact, they do. They apply to everybody. Now, you might have a mix of beliefs, and you might be a label that many other people are not, but everybody has a label, because labels are just descriptors of what is. That's all it is. A label is a descriptor of what is. So you can't escape it. It is what it is. But to be fair to him on this front, he's actually right. He's right. And at least he's being honest. Because it is true. If he said, I am a progressive, then we would have had to do a segment where we say, not so fast there, buddy. The issues say otherwise. So I think Beto is, and to be fair to him, this isn't because he's corrupt. In fact, I don't think he's corrupt. He doesn't take corporate PAC money, and I think he actually just believes in centrism. And what I mean by that is, look at his voting record. He voted to support fast track of TPP. That's relatively unacceptable in my mind. Now, he would argue, well, I mean, later on, when we actually had the vote, I probably would vote against it, but if to fast track it, I was for that. Forgive me if I don't trust that, because there's plenty of people who did not vote for fast track of TPP. The overwhelming majority of Democrats in the House did not vote for fast track of TPP. Beto O'Rourke did. Okay? That's a problem. Also, he supported Wall Street deregulation. Again, in the case of Beto, I would say, because he actually thinks that that's the right thing to do, he may have bought the bullshit about, like, this is to help small banks, even though when you read the details of it, it's not to help small banks. That's the Dodge bullshit propaganda they were selling. But he's wrong on that. He's wrong. He also has glowing, wonderful things to say about AIPAC, which is, I don't agree with. It's not good. And maybe the most important thing is, he refuses to sign up for either of the two Medicare for All bills that are in the House. Even though he says he's for Medicare for All, he will not sign up to either of the two bills, and he's not proposing his own. So, okay, to be fair to him, you're right. You're not a progressive. Now, some people have gotten mad and said, all right, whatever. Why do you keep going after him? Listen, I want to be clear. This is the time to have these conversations. We're about to have a Democratic primary. So, for me to do these segments, this is me saying, okay, this is what this guy stands for. Now, you might not like it. It doesn't matter much. It's the truth. So if this is what his voting record is, and this is what he stands for, and we're about to enter the Democratic primary, where we're supposed to pick the person who will represent the Democratic Party going into the general election, this is the exact time to have these conversations and to air it all out and to make a rational choice. So to try to stop the conversation from happening, that is fucking weird and bizarre. Because it's almost like they're trying to pull the Hillary thing where it's like, all right, shut up and just accept it. Why? We're not even in the general election yet. You're already telling people to shut up and accept it, that Beto's going to be the nominee? Fuck off. How about we give all the information, all the data, and let people make up their own minds? Now, if people end up picking a centrist, okay, then it is what it is. But I'm certainly not on that page, so I'm going to argue against it. This is the time to have this debate. This is the time to have this conversation. And this is the time to be crystal clear about what flavor of ideology each candidate represents. And we know that Bernie represents social democracy in the left, and Beto's going to represent a centrist/moderate position. And okay, but at least come as advertised. And since, the perception out there is that, oh no, he is like the next Bernie. I need to bust that up because it's just not true. So that's why we're having this conversation. That's why we'll continue to have this conversation. And it's worth it, and it's necessary. And if at the end of all this, some of you say, I still want Beto over the other people, okay. But just know that you're not picking the person who's actually on the left. You're picking the moderate/centrist. And again, if you say, I'm picking him and I agree with that ideology, fine. But just know that that's the ideology.